Good morning, pregame crew. It is Monday, December 4th, 2023, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I am so glad you're here. I got to meet a rock star on Saturday, Basque 14. It was so nice meeting you. Let's go back up to the top. Let me say hello to my friends and do an audio-visual check, please. Good morning, shake and bake. Yep, Bitcoin is out there shaking and baking. Hey, Andre, Tom, Hector. Hey, Rob. Shoot, I hope you're feeling better now. Hey, Greg, Jungle Cat, Gino, Cliff, RXR, DSA, Carl, Sir Fernando, JF, Keggers, BB, Tess, Mal, Sam. Hey, Fat N, Dollar Tree. Chris, I love the Dollar Tree. Omar, Mike. Hey, Bennett, thank you. Mark, Brian, win for you. Hello. Peter, Siraj, Clifton. Let's go back up to the top, see if we have any chart requests. Night Truck, last week was a good week, dude. Not trying to make you feel bad. It was a really good week. But this week's going to be even better. Blow off top RXR, it happens with high volume. You get these blow off tops. That's what happened with gold last night. I got to meet Basque this weekend. And she has the most beautiful tattoos I've ever seen in my life. She had a lot of interesting things about her. I won't tell you all those other interesting things. Definitely the tattoos were not the most interesting thing, but God, they were gorgeous. Good morning. PLTR for Carl. Let's do it. Okay, last week I kept telling y'all I don't like the pattern that it's in because we went from a higher high to a lower low. And now this lower high, the question is it set? Got a little double top there. Hourly is squeezing sideways. If the market wants to continue to push up, it could drag PLTR with it. It just odds favor something like this. Oh, I need to change the color of my drawing tool. Odds favor something like this. But with a strong market, anything's possible. I do like the hourly tightening range and squeeze. I do like that. So maybe a pullback buy against Friday's low could work. Netflix had news this morning, some type of bundling with Verizon. It's not helping the chart yet. We're looking for a weekly higher low. We're looking for a daily higher low. 4 hour is approaching oversold as we look for that daily higher low. Netflix is on a bottom fish watch because typically we look for a weekly higher low with 4 hour oversold. In this case, we're looking for a daily higher low with 4 hour oversold. So where would that be? We're right in that area around 462. So maybe if we get a 460 flush, which is funny, that's what I was looking for from NVIDIA. These two charts mess me up because they're the same price often, but I think this could be a gap down as for buying. I want to push it below 460, and that could be a nice beach ball trade where you're trying to push a beach ball underwater. I do like Netflix to the long side, but I want a big flush at open. Tilray. Tilray had a pretty green day on Friday. Got a double top with $1.91. $1.91. 4 hour potential bull flag. Looking better. I like MSOS better. I love this tightening range on the daily chart. That is super tight. And we have a 4 hour squeeze brewing. So I like MSOS a little better than Tilray. But Tilray looks fine. Nothing wrong with it. Sure, we're still in a strong market. Nothing's broken yet. Doesn't mean it won't break, but it's not broken now. I do not like Rivian's daily 50 and 200 MA overhead. We need to take out 1827 and clear those key moving averages. We do have a daily squeeze. That's looking interesting. This may be worth a pullback buy. See what would make it still be a bull flag. Maybe around 1753 could be a pullback buy. Looking to take out these daily 50 and 200 MA and fire the squeeze to the long side. I like Lucid here and I like Rivian here. We just got to clear those daily moving averages. Sure. You keep that on back burner watch. Nice monthly EQ. Daily RSI is 78. 4-hour RSI is 76. So you definitely want to pull back buy. Maybe wait for first 5 or 15 minute oversold during regular trading hours. When y'all ask me, did we already do coin? Did we already do Netflix? I don't do every ticker every day. I do the commodities tickers every day, Bitcoin, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, and Tesla. And otherwise, it's left up to me as to what other setups I like. So no, I haven't done coin yet, but it's on back burner watch. Obviously, going nuts with Bitcoin going nuts. So 5 15 minute oversold bounce watch on coin, Riot, and Mara. And yes, this market is still strong. MSTR benefiting from Bitcoin. Absolutely. Back burner watch. Hey, awesome, you're running behind. Google is weak in pre-market. We're gapping below, and this could be a diamond bearish reversal pattern. Something to watch out for. However, odds favor a weekly higher low, and 4-hour is oversold. So I'm a much more comfortable bull on Google down here, looking for the weekly higher low where 4-hour is oversold, than I am a bear. So I'd rather buy this gap down open, looking for the weekly higher low, than shorting it. Then on a bounce, you could wait for first hourly overbought and start searching for the top fish for that potential diamond bearish reversal pattern on the weekly. Hey KK, hey awesome. It's 6:29:39. Let's get this show on the road. Good morning. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that'd be lovely. We have a new ebook on using the 3 EMA strategy. If you want to click on the link below the YouTube description to get a copy of that ebook. You could check us out at chartguys.com. We teach technical analysis. I love our community. And what I do here every morning is I go over this table, and overall I'm looking more bullish than bearish. Bitcoin, of course, is the star of the show. I show you the economic calendar. Today it is very light, but for the week we do have some big events coming up. Wednesday, ADP non-farm payrolls, and Friday, non-farm payrolls, Thursday, initial jobless claims, and we do have a big earnings week as well. I have my notes that are off screen. I copy and paste those for TCG members when I am done. Hang Seng was down 1.09% overnight, and DAX is still hanging on to green by the hair of its chinny chin chin. Looking at ES, weekly higher high. Say it with me now. There is nothing wrong with this chart. Nothing wrong with this chart. This pullback's not ideal. Bulls would like to see it have a more shallow pullback. We've pulled back about 55% in the move. So now a higher high is not guaranteed. We could get a lower high and tighten up. However, this is healthy. Looking at NASDAQ, it's not as healthy as ES. We're looking for a higher low somewhere in this area and potential EQ process on NQ. But look at RTY. RTY is like, hold my beer. That candle on Friday was unbelievable, and they are getting continuation and follow through this morning. They are through Friday's high. RTY is definitely the leader here, and it's been an RTY lead, QQQ pullback. Some of our QQQ names are in pivotal areas for potential reversal, so this may flip over today and RTY consolidate during the day while QQQ gets an oversold bounce going on with Nvidia, Netflix, and Google. We'll see. If you want the key levels, they're highlighted over here in the light gray. And I always put yesterday high and low. Of course, that means the prior day high, in this case, Friday. So don't get all turned that says yesterday's high. I know that means Friday, and I don't change it. So we have VIX that is up 5% overnight. I'm not worried about the VIX. That it does not concern me at all. Bitcoin is bullish, 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 bullish. We're looking for a weekly higher low, a daily higher low, a 4-hour higher low, an hourly higher low, and 15-minute. This could be a diamond bearish reversal pattern, but you're just looking for back burners. If you're a Bitcoin trader, it is Definitely more advantageous to stay in the bull seat and just look for back burners to buy, stair steps or tightening patterns to buy to the long side. And I would pick Bitcoin over Ethereum. Bitcoin is stronger than Ethereum. Dollar is green overnight. No major concern here. This could be a daily inverse head and shoulders forming here, so be careful. But I'm not overly concerned with the dollar here. We have a 15-minute tightening pattern. Gold bulls want to see this roll over to the downside. Gold had a blow off top last night at open. No big deal. These 3 upper wicks on the 15-minute just shows bull exhaustion and bears stepping in and say, whoa, 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 you went too far too fast. I think this is still on back burner watch. The 15-minute back burner yielded a small pop. So now we're waiting for the first hourly oversold. That's the next back burner. It just needs a breather. Used up a lot of buying power overnight. Oil is weak. Oil is weak, and this is the only potential saving grace here for oil is a potential weekly higher low compared to 72.37. Now, it's not guaranteed. This is super weak. Look at it on the monthly. Downtrend. Weekly, downtrend. Daily, downtrend. 4-hour, downtrend. Hourly, downtrend. 15-minute, we have a slight uptrend. So bulls are trying to put in a weekly higher low here compared to 72.37. Oil is weak. Nat gas is weak, super weak. Downtrends on almost all time frames. Let me look at silver real quick. Silver also had a blow off top last night, pulling back pretty big. Here, it's probably time for it to take a breather as well. Yep, lots of names getting a pump from Bitcoin. Lots and lots of names. So I gotta figure out how to say this. I always try to be respectful. Sometimes my mouth precedes my brain, so I need to slow down and think. I get asked more about names that are running really, really hard in pre-market, either due to earnings or today, Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was up big over the weekend. So if you're coming into today, where do you think the biggest opportunity is? Is it in names that are already up 10%? No, that's not where the opportunity is. Now, there's a back burner trade there, but that's going to take a while to develop, and you just set your alert and go about your business. That's a pretty straightforward trade idea. Wait for first 5 or 15-minute oversold during regular trading hours. But if you have an earnings gap up of 20%, or you have Bitcoin moving hard over the weekend and you have names gapping up 10%, that is not where the opportunity is. I want you to go look for the names that have meat on the bone. I'm looking for names with meat on the bone. So just make sure that you're not always chasing the shiny object. Now, there's definitely trades in these names. There's going to be EQs, stair steps, back burners, and I have them on my list. I think that you should go for it. There are other opportunities in the market that may have more meat left on the bone than names like this that are already up 10%. Okay, well, since I started soapboxing a little bit, let me finish my soapbox. I want you to be ridiculously process focused. As a trader, we need to be focused on the process. And I want you to just think for a little bit. What if a surgeon had to go in, which they do every day, and amputate a leg? And instead of looking at the monitor of the heart rate, the blood pressure, the blood loss, watching the leg is, did they cauterize it? Has the bleeding stopped? Looking at all the things that are involved in a surgical process versus saying, hey, can you pull a screen in here? I want to see if Medicare has paid me yet for this procedure. What did my biller say? What's the CPT code? What's the ICD-9 code? Would you want your surgeon looking at the screen has insurance paid them yet? Or should they be looking at the patient and their overall well-being and looking at the procedure itself and the task at hand, being process-oriented? Did I cut off the right leg? Was it the correct one? Did I cut it off at the right location? Did I cauterize it? Did I stitch it? How is the patient tolerating anesthesia? You want to be focused on the process. If a doctor went into a surgical room and focused on their P&L and the insurance process and whether they're getting paid, patients would be dying left and right. And can I tell y'all, as traders, that's what we do every single day. We focus on the P&L and not the process. I promise you, your P&L has never made you $1. Charts make you money, not P&L. Charts make you money. Be process focused. Our P&L does not make us money, charts do. What is the ticker? Is this a ticker that I trade often? Am I familiar with its nuances? What's the weekly most likely scenario? What's the daily most likely scenario? What's the 4-hour most likely scenario? And do y'all see that I have chart patterns way down here on my list? Way down here, bull and bear divergence, way down on my list, because that's not the most important. This is the most important. This is it. So this would be the equivalent of the patient's heart rate, the blood pressure. How much blood have they lost? Are they actively bleeding? That's the most important thing for a patient. Well, the most important thing for a trade is the more likely scenarios, is sequencing what the most likely scenario is. It is not the chart pattern. It is not, does it have RSI bull divergence? Sure, you can use that extra information, but that's not the most important. So I'm going to help you benefit from therapy that I paid $150 an hour for. I went to see a therapist about 6 years ago, and I'm like, man, this trading thing is hard. I self-sabotage, I think, and blah, blah, blah. And she said, do you know what doodads you're supposed to be looking at? I'm like, yeah, I need to be looking at price action and RSI and correlations. She's like, okay, make a list of those doodads, and then I want you to check. How can I do a check? I want you to, I'll just do an X. Check them off every time that you look at a doodad and that you did every single one before you entered a trade. Then enter the trade. Did you know where you're wrong? Where will I be wrong before you enter the trade? Where will I be right? And will I add if I'm right within 30 minutes? If you're right quick, those are typically the trades you need to be adding to, not selling. Add to those. Are EMAs below price? Stay in long. EMAs above price? Stay in short. These are the doodads that we know we have to do. Focus on that and say no to this P&L forever watching process that we are in. Okay. Okay, so that's so funny. Y'all are cute. When I met Bass Saturday, she's like, my favorite thing is when you soapbox. I'm like, oh God. I said, I think, and she met my husband too. I'm like, my husband will tell you that's his least favorite thing. But we have to be process oriented. Don't be the surgeon looking at whether you've got an insurance payment while you got a patient under anesthesia and their leg cut off. That is not the time to look at the insurance chart. That is the time to look at the patient, the process, the ticker, the chart. And I have watched thousands of videos on primo traders. They don't watch their P&L. $6 million, they don't care. That is like points in a video game to them. They are more focused on their process. Did they follow their entry criteria, their exit criteria? Did they notice when divergences popped up and the thesis changed? And then did they stick with their plan and change their exit plan because conditions changed? And that's what we have to do as traders. All right, now let's go look at some charts now that I've soapboxed. I actually was in quality resource management in a hospital setting for 10 years where I was part of Joint Commission, and we had to make sure we had all these processes to make sure the wrong legs didn't get cut off, that, refrigerators stayed at the right degrees Celsius. So, medicine stayed good, and there's batteries in the, the defibrillators and all of that. And I would just have to do all this process improvement and check all these processes. And it's so applicable to anything you do in life. Okay, back to Apple. Where's my notes? Let me get some water and shift. Apple's a potential weekly bull flag. Thank you, Bask. I appreciate you. Okay, so Apple has a potential weekly bull flag. There is nothing wrong with this chart. It's red. Yeah, so what? It's not below Friday's low. Is this a broken chart? No. Okay, so I'm gonna deviate, but I don't care. This is what I know I need to do, so I'm gonna do it. Look at Apple on the 4 hour. This has been going sideways. Now I'm just gonna scroll down to the very bottom of my list, and I'm just gonna start looking at charts, okay? Look at this healthy 4 hour squeeze on Apple. Y'all, that's a powerful pattern for another leg up. Very powerful. And today may be our day where all sectors hit low of day and all these beautiful patterns don't break out to the upside like they are set up to do. And that's okay. I will move and be agile and I will adjust. This is a beautiful pattern. Now let's start looking at some charts, other charts. Look at BA. Do y'all see BA? Look at this move up. Do y'all think I'm going to bring BA to y'all to buy long today? Heck no. There ain't no meat left on that bone. Now look at Apple. Do you see it? It's sideways. All right. So notice the difference. Let's flip through a bunch of charts real quick. DHI, which that was one of my favorite charts last week. Doesn't that look like Apple does now? And look at what happened Friday. I told y'all I like that chart here and I was one day too early. Look at that. Beautiful move. ALGN, big move up. This isn't sideways. Is this sideways? No, this is 45 degrees up. Up. Not all of them are like that. RH, up. ENPH, up. Piton, up. Beyond, look at that, up. DLTR, up. DG, up. Do y'all see it? Up, up, up. Stitch Fix, up. Now, so you see the difference, all right? So we just looked at an hourly chart on about 10 charts. Now, I'm going to go to Apple. Is that up? No, that's healthy sideways consolidation. We have an opportunity. Oh, let me turn my magnet off so I can draw this pretty. We have an opportunity in Apple for a long. It's going sideways. It has not gotten its next leg up. Amazon, is this up? No, we have an opportunity in Amazon. Nvidia, this is not up by any stretch of the imagination. So why do I like it long? We're looking for a weekly high or low. 4 hour, it barely crossed oversold on Friday. But I'm waiting for a push down. Let's get a flush below 460 so I can get my 4 hour real oversold and then get that potential weekly high or low. Tesla's different. This is sideways, but I think there's an opportunity for a potential 4 hour high or low, but y'all look at the weekly chart. We're looking for a lower high. I can't do a lot with this chart. It's not in the optimum position. CVNA. CVNA, yes, it went up on Friday. This thing has a tendency for short squeezes. So let me give you all my names right here on this screen. I'm copying my notes that are off screen for TCG members only. And I'm going to show you what I'm looking at today, summarized on one chart. That's awesome, tubed out. Okay, so what I'm looking at is CVNA, a potential pullback buy to 36.47. When these bulls get fiery, they tend to really get their groove on. Foot Locker earnings, big beat, large move up on Friday on back burner watch, tightening range, or stair step watch. Not quite into that gap fill area yet, and this is what I mean. And you'll notice I love to find charts that have these big gaps because that means there's no true resistance overhead. So we get into the gap fill area over 30.87. I like that name long, all right? Let's go back to our list. Well, y'all, where's my list? Oh, there it is. Okay. I like FL long. LRCX, 4 hours prime for a potential breakout. Oracle, 4 hour compression squeeze. Path, I played Friday. I posted those setups in chat. Large move up on Friday. It's on back burner, tightening range, and stair step watch. Uber, I posted that Friday that it had the rumor of potentially being included in the S&P, and it is, and it's up big. Back burner watch. So let's go look at LRCX. Y'all see LRCX is sideways. It's not screaming higher. It has room for a move up. Look at Oracle. Look at that sideways action and that squeeze. Do you see that high compression squeeze on Oracle? That is beautiful. That's not, it was up over here, but it's been going sideways for a couple weeks now. Path had a beautiful day on Friday. I'm looking for a back burner, tightening ranges, or stair step. Uber, it's had a beautiful week. I'm looking for back burner, stair steps, and tightening ranges. Does that make sense? No. Success says, with the Dow over 80, would you be concerned buying Apple for a long? No. RSI is a condition. RSI does not keep me out of a trade, and it does not put me in a trade. It is a condition coupled with the most likely scenario that I sometimes use as an extra reason to get in a name, but it's not the reason I get in or the reason I get out, but it's a great question. SoFi. Big move on Friday, back burner watch. Back burner, tightening range. It's not my favorite, but I mean, it could go. My son asked me last week what names he should buy, and last Wednesday, and I told him I like Lucid. I'm looking for Lucid for tax loss harvesting reasons, and I like this daily inverse head and shoulders. MNMD, I'm in. Dan was in this. I'm still in. I didn't sell anything. I like this psychedelic name. And I also told him Ford, which it got a big move Thursday and Friday. I told him here. So I like Ford. It had that weekly inside bar, multiple inside bars, break bull. So those are three of my names. And I'm in ARM long. I posted why I'm in long. I posted my entry and swing trade. This name is not owned by any of the major ETFs. It's a newer IPO. It is profitable. It was mentioned in NVIDIA's earnings report. I'm in long around 61.20. And I plan on holding for a while. What is the reason for me to get into a trade? Let's go back to the process. This is the reason I get into the trade. The reason is the most likely scenario. I want it on the clearest time frame that gives me the highest conviction that it is the next shoe to drop, or it's in my sequencing. It's the next most probable move. That is the reason I get into a trade. That's the reason. Here's all the extra data that may up or down my conviction a little bit, which is divergence, volume, RSI, chart patterns. Those are extra reasons that may get my conviction from 7.5 out of 10 to 8.5 out of 10. But what gets my conviction to a 7.5 is the most likely scenario. What is the next most probable move? It is not diamond patterns. It is not cup and handle. It is not bull flag. It is what is the most likely scenario. And when I go look at NVIDIA, the most likely scenario on this weekly chart is a higher low. That's my reason for looking at NVIDIA long. Then my condition, a 4-hour oversold, potential flushing 460, potential gap down, that just adds evidence to my case as to why I'm looking long. I mean, 60s resistance, it's already over. I don't think about things like that. Uber has a lot of momentum being included in the S&P. We saw when Lulu, if you want to go look at a history, go look at Lulu when it got included on the S&P. It ran for a few days, so there's no reason Uber can't either. It may not, but there's no reason it can't. All right, it's 6:52. I feel like I've given y'all my best work this morning. I worked hard today. I had 8 hours full sleep. It was just glorious. And I'm really looking forward to my day. I have my habit tracker all filled out for the day so I can make some good habits and good choices and support a healthy life for a healthy brain and good trading. So I appreciate you being here, and TCG members, I'll have these notes to you in a second. Y'all use stop losses and hit the like button for God's sakes. Love you.